And a whiner on Twitter. Up 21 points, the state is Donald Trump's to lose. Bush knows it, and so does Trump.
Let me tell you, he's not going anywhere.
Trump takes the stage here in just about a half an hour, and right now this room is just about half full. New Hampshire is a fiercely independent state. It is one that is known to surprise, and although Donald Trump is up by a lot here, I will leave you with this, Lester. Those leaving the Trump rally early on Sunday told me that they were going to go see John Kasich.
All right, Katie Tur, thanks. Let's go back to Marco Rubio. He's brushing off broad criticism of that Saturday debate performance when he was called out for repeating the same talking point about President Obama 4 times in the span of a few minutes. I joined him on the trail here in New Hampshire this morning, where he acknowledged his relative success in Iowa has opened him up for attack here. So what's it like to have a big target on your back? Don't you feel that way?
That's part of the process. When you have a target, it means you're doing something well. Hi, how are you?
But could Marco Rubio's debate moment change all that? For the past 2 days, it's been hard to miss. Senator, we're sitting at a diner and on TV right now. They're talking about you.
Let's dispel once and for all with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing. Let's dispel with this fiction that Barack Obama doesn't know what he's doing.
You repeated the same thing 4 times.
I'll say it again. Barack Obama's trying to change America, and he's doing damage to this country with those changes. I'll say again. None of the things that have happened are accidents. Obamacare was not an accident. Dodd-Frank is not an accident.
But in repeating it over and over again, it played to this notion that your critics have, some of your opponents, that you are a bit contrived, that you're rehearsed, that you're not just...
Yeah, but that's silly. I mean, and that's... people understand people when they're running for office are going to say whatever they need to say, especially... Look, Chris Christie has a very liberal record, right? He supported gun control. He supported Planned Parenthood, wrote him a personal check. He endorsed Sotomayor. So if you're a candidate, you don't want to talk about that. You want to figure out something else. And so that's what they'll do. And the media is always looking for something new and interesting to cover. But for voters, the Republican voters agree with what I'm saying.
So did it be called Marco Robot to see a headline that said you choked? That doesn't bother you.
But that's just part of the process.
Was it your finest performance?
We did excellent. Let me tell you, on our website, we raised more money in the first hour of that debate than all the other debates.
The governors, your opponents, talk about the experience of actually being in charge of something as opposed to, being on the legislative side. What do you respond? What's your response?
They have zero experience on foreign policy. None. Jeb Bush has no foreign policy.
How deep is your foreign policy experience?
More than any of them. I'm a member of the Intelligence Committee for 5 years, going through some of the most sensitive information this government has. I have more foreign policy and national security experience than everybody else on that debate stage the other night combined.
Your third place showing in Iowa, strong third place, has put a lot of expectations on you in terms of going forward here. What does that mean in terms of what happens in New Hampshire? What is your bar?
Well, every state is different. You have Donald Trump that's consistently been in first place now since June or July. He's the clear front runner. We're going to do well here. We have a good team here. When it's all said and done and the delegates are counted up, we're going to have more than half of them, and we're going to be the nominee. Of that, I remain 100% convinced.
Conversation with Marco Rubio over a cup of coffee this morning. Let's turn now to Chuck Todd, our political director and moderator of Meet the Press. Chuck, you've got Bill Clinton on the attack, Trump getting personal with voters, Rubio's debate performance. Are we seeing anything late in the game that's dramatically shifting the dynamic?
I think what's amazing is that how jumbled everything is on the Republican side, and New Hampshire is no longer going to serve as the state we thought it would. We thought it was going to be the state that would winnow this Republican field. I think now, because of the Rubio debate performance, even if he does still finish second, his opponents all believe he has a glass jaw, and they want another crack at him in South Carolina. But let's not lose sight of this fact, Lester. Both Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump, they've been leading in the polls here for months. They have not lost their lead. Maybe it goes up and down. And the fact of the matter is, when the country is upset, New Hampshire is the first one to tell us, and a Sanders-Trump dual victory will tell us and send us just that message. That's still a big deal, Lester.
All right, Chuck Thompson, I thank you. As you can see around me, a winter storm has battered part of the east.
Yeah, kid your little friend. How about that, asshole? I'm playing that new Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes games. Yeah, it's really good. Right now, I'm recording for my channel.
It's on her phone, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't get it on my phone.
Oh, that freaking sucks. Well, whenever you get a new phone, you'll have to get it. It's really good. So far. I just started not too long ago. Well done, you earned a training droid. Oh, sweet. I can always use that. Turns out this frickin' battle droid had a healer droid. Be like, fuck you.
A monster storm off the Carolina coast on a collision course with the world's largest cruise ship.
I'm gonna have to train my close sergeant. He's weakest.
The dining room in tatters
Or
and
not.
shattered glass everywhere after the vessel was tossed like a toy in winds matching a category.
I better be able to use this training droid multiple times.
This ship could crack in half.
More than 6,000 passengers and crew ordered to take cover. The cruise started Saturday in New Jersey, scheduled to dock in Florida today before continuing to the Bahamas. But tonight the trip is canceled. The vessel is returning, due back Wednesday. Diane Hopkins says
If I'm correct, these are preset. Your first characters are a Jedi, a clone trooper with a Gatling gun, and then you get Chewbacca.
What's it called?
Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Stop shooting me, you dick!
and said in a statement, while the weather was unpleasant, the ship remained seaworthy at all times. But with the storm forecast for days, why did the ship try to go through it? This from an announcement on board.
Yesterday it turned out to be probably one of my worst days I've seen.
The vessel is in calm waters now, as frustrated vacationers sail back to winter after drama on the high seas. Janet Shamlian, NBC News.
Galaxy what?
Of Heroes.
Now moved to its highest alert level over the Zika outbreak, and President Obama has asked Congress for $1.8 billion in emergency funding to combat the virus linked to birth defects. Also, as Tom Costello explains, there is growing concern ahead of this year's Olympic Games in Brazil, ground zero for Zika.
With the Rio Games just 6 months away, the U.S. Olympic Committee today reiterated CDC guidance that pregnant women and anyone who...
Well, when you get a new phone, you'll get it. I know you will.
...going to the games in August, but added, we would
Okay, snowtrooper, snowtrooper, snowtrooper. That's only 3 snowtroopers. Nothing big.
Zika experts say it's a personal decision.
It's very difficult to give advice to people who've devoted the last X number of years training for that. And what we can do with the CDC and the NIH could do is to just give them the facts and the evidence-based information.
With 4,000 babies already diagnosed with microcephaly in Brazil, today the White House asked Congress for nearly $2 billion to search for a vaccine and ramp up the fight.
We expect with warmer months to come that more risk will be present, and so this is really a time where we need to scale.
The CDC now says its Emergency Operations Center has moved to the highest level to respond to the Zika outbreak. While on the ground in South Florida, a proactive push to wipe out mosquitoes that could soon arrive carrying the Zika virus. Researchers say they still don't know whether Zika can be transmitted through saliva and urine, but they also continue to believe mosquito control efforts should prevent a widespread outbreak in the U.S. Tom Costello, NBC News, Washington.
Ooh, Victoria. When I finish my video, I'll let you take a shot at it.
NBC's Keir Simmons shows us what's on the tape.
Let's go claim your award. Okay, I'm down with that. Yes, player level. You have earned 20 bonus energy. Woot woot.
But authorities now believe that laptop was likely a bomb. And this is the moment they hand it to an alleged suicide bomber. The result, a hole blasted in the side of a commercial airliner Tuesday. The body of the alleged bomber ejected from the plane by the explosion. Was this the work of people who worked at the airport?
Well, one of the people who works at the airport, we are investigating.
Investigators, working with a team of Americans, have arrested 20 people. Some aviation security experts say it shows the risk from workers inside airports.
Comes with a serious risk of a potentially life-threatening disease. Also, it was a matchup of Peyton versus Cam, but was it Beyonce who really won the Super Bowl?
With Advil, you'll ask, what backache? What sore wrist? What headache? What bad shoulder? Advil makes pain a distant memory. Nothing works faster, stronger, or longer than Advil. It's the world's #1 choice.
Level 3 clone trooper. You can always use them.
Dear Mr. Danoff, my wife and I are now participating in your mutual fund. We invested in your fund to help us pay for a college education for our son. We've enclosed a picture of our son so that you can get a sense there are real people out here trusting you with their hard-earned money.
At Fidelity, we don't just manage money. We manage people's money.
Your brain changes as you get older, but Prevagen helps your brain with an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. In clinical trials,
Oh yeah.
to improve short-term memory. Prevagen, the name to remember.
A heart attack doesn't care if you run every day or if you're young or old. No matter who you are, a heart attack can happen without warning. If you've had a heart attack, a Bayer aspirin regimen can help prevent another one. Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen. Bayer aspirin.
As farmers, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a stag pool party.
No, I don't want Leia. Orlando.
And we covered it. October 27th.
Or Darth Maul.
Talk to farmers. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Oh shit! I just bought Kylo Ren.
I love just having them all.
Give me a fucking first order stormtrooper. Screw you. No, I'm broke.